It is me, it is her, it is I. It is your favorite neighborhood scholar, Candace, and I'm here. I'm back with another video today. I had to double up because I got a lot to say. Nevertheless, always the more. You see the title of the video. I got my notes here, my handy dandy book. This is what keeps me on time and on target. Um, So there is this saying that is hilarious to me that I've recently heard like on TikTok and most of the time I've heard it on TikTok. I would say that, and whenever something happens, and I guess people are giving their commentary about things that have happened, the person will say, "Man, that is some crazy work," and and I love the fact that people are having open dialogue about work. And those that don't know what work is, no, it's not the 9 to 5 that you go to every day. It's not has nothing to do with you being an entrepreneur. It is divination. It is sorcery. It is white or black magic. However you, depending on how you want to look at it, it is witchcraft. Um, there's a lot of different names for it. This is Santeria. This is Yoruba. They're depending on where you're from. There's probably a different word, a different forms of terminology um, for what it is, but it's all the same, right? Um, I'll give you what I feel like my definition of what work is, and it's basically a manipulation of energy. On a low scale, it is because people don't do work for nothing, right? It is usually when people feel like they need to do work, it is to alter a certain outcome because the odds are not in their favor. So they feel like they need to do work of some kind, big or small, in order to achieve the desired goals or outcomes, right? It could be something as little as I've seen people do, like, I remember when I was little, I was going to people's house and they would have like money trees and shit. They would have money and I didn't, you know how you see stuff then and you never knew what it was. But now that I've actually learned, I'm like, man, these people have been doing work for years. Everybody's into this shit. I'm like, damn, I'm the only person up here getting it honest. I'm the only motherfucker that's just actually getting up, going to work every day, not stealing, not lying, like, well, following the word and shit. Everybody else just been out here just fool out lying. Fool out lying. And it is crazy to me to know, but like I remember seeing like people with money trees in their house, which is supposed to bring you like financial prosperity of some kind. I guess depending on who you are and where you're from, there's like hoodoo and voodoo, like not putting your purse on the ground, and you don't want people sweeping your feet because that means you won't get married. It's like all of these like weird traditions and sayings and things that people live by, and the whole don't walk under a ladder. That's not necessarily like hoodoo or voodoo, but it's superstitions. That's what it is. Folk tales, things of that nature. And so all of that, I think there's a element to it that's under like paganism, and I feel like on the far end it's like the Satanists, the Luciferians, the people that be doing like high level things on large groups of people. We'll talk about that here in a minute. So I think you have the idea of what I mean by some crazy work. And I would suggest anybody to learn about these things because it is such a gift to be able to understand and know what work is, what it looks like, when it's happening, when people are attacking you, because it's not about them and what they're doing, it's about you and how you need to protect yourself. Because people are going to be people. People are going to do the things that they're going to do. They're going to try you. and they don't have the courage to put their hands on you. They don't want to go to jail. They really pussy, truth be told. But the next best thing is always witchcraft. That's what I'm seeing over the last several years. I feel like that's the only thing people can really do. No, let me take it back. That's the only thing that they choose to do. This is because in this life we always have choices, right? This is what they choose to do. And so, considering that we all have choices, instead of people choosing to like do better, be better, have better, do more, they rather attack you. But somehow, some way, it's your fault. It's your fault that I'm fat. It's your fault that my man left me. It's your fault. Everything is your fault. Your entire existence is your fault. The fact that you breathing right now and making a video, it's your fault. So I gotta go do work. I want to narrow this down a little bit, and maybe that's another video that I can talk more about, like the mundane stuff. But I really want to focus on kind of the larger scale things because of the things that I've seen in the last several years. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story and then get into the bullet points because I try to remember time constraints and, like I say, not to ramble. I myself became officially homeless, like as far as homelessness, as far as living in a shelter, December of 2022. And that was my first ever transition in ever having to live in an actual, which is not, there's nothing to be ashamed of. However, I knew that when that started, it was deeper than just going to a shelter. And as I started to see the patterns, that's the biggest thing for me, is the patterns and processes and behaviors and the things that people do, because I'm a very, very observant person. I'm a psychologist at heart, so I'm always surveying the land. I'm always watching. I'm always taking notes and collecting data because that's just what I do. And even if I don't get it today, honey, by the time I wake up tomorrow, honey, I got it. So homelessness as it relates to magic, witchcraft, sorcery, manipulation on low levels. What I have come to understand is that homelessness, or any type of institutionalized environment, that's why I include incarceration as well as mental health institutions, a lot of things are done based on the manipulation of energy. Because you have to get that there is a lot of people that they have to manage. They have quotas that they have to meet, especially if they are nonprofit organizations. This is how they get their funding. This is how they keep their jobs. And what I have come to understand is that manipulation of energy is the only way to keep people trapped in cycles of poverty, of abuse, of low lack mindsets, low income, the bottom of the barrel, the lower end of life. This is why they say that 85% of people that are born under the poverty line never leave, because it is a mindset. It is greater than just going to school and starting over. It's greater than just getting a good job. Like, poverty is a way of life and a lifestyle. So no matter how much you I guess advance yourself, if you don't even believe you're worthy of better, it won't really mean much, and you'll stay exactly where you are. That's why you have some people that they might have went to school and done several things, but they still stay in the hood. Like, they can never leave where they from. And that's what I mean by poverty. So with homelessness, in the 2 years that I've gone through homelessness, which will be officially, it's officially been 2 full years that I've had to live at homeless shelters. I have come to find out that it is so much witchcraft going on. It is insane. And when I first got there, I didn't know. And one of the first places, because a lot of shelters are 30-day shelters. This is why, because we get them in and get it because we need to keep you homeless. This is why a lot of shelters, that a lot of them can't house people for long periods of time because they don't have the funding. But it's also because most of these people are drug addicts. They're mentally ill. They're disabled. And they're probably not coming out of homelessness. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Most of these people are not. Most of these people, they have been, if they can't work, if they are not able-bodied people and actively out every single day looking for work, looking for housing, trying to be an active member of society, then 10 times out of 10, this is where they're gonna be. And so I've noticed that at each homeless shelter I stayed at, it was a large population of older people. The last place I stayed in California, there was people in their 70s, 70, 75 years old, sleeping in metal bunks, with no end in sight, with no idea of how they plan on getting out of. Like they had no agenda, no drive, no nothing. And to me, that is some crazy work, because you get caught. That's the thing about homelessness. It's worse than incarceration. Because incarceration, you get a sentence and hey, I get 5 years, and in 5 years, or maybe in 2.5, I can leave, right? But even with incarceration, you are day in, day out. You got to get up at a certain time. You got to eat the food that they give you. You can't go anywhere. You can't leave. You can't come back. We have to monitor your phone calls. You're under surveillance. We watch you shower. We watch you do everything. It's humiliation. It's torture. It's abuse. Because we have to traumatize you. This is how. It's like, once we force you into homelessness, we need you to stay there, because it's too many people. And if there's too many people that are advancing, to have money and have resources, the people at the top, it doesn't work well for the people that are wealthy. They don't want more wealthy people. They just want the people that are wealthy to stay wealthy and the poor to remain poor, because that's how we stay wealthy and you don't. And so we need to set up barriers. We need to have blockages. We need to have systems in place to keep certain targeted people in a low-income, impoverished environment. And that's just the truth. I have stayed, like I say, I have stayed at a total of 4 shelters in 3 different states. 1 in Arizona, 2 in California, and now 1 here in Texas. As I say, most of them are only like 30-day shelters, so you don't get to stay. The last one I stayed at in California literally almost took me up out of here. And it was so much witchcraft going on in that motherfucker. I'm telling you, and everybody knew. Everybody knows the games that are being played. Everybody, like, it is so sinister that even in some of these environments, they pretend to be Christians. That's the big thing, is that a lot of these people are pretend to be church folks, and they say all these scriptures and not realizing, honey, the Bible was an occultist book, honey. Why you think nobody read it at one point in time? Like, I don't think people understand the direct correlation between spirituality and religion. But they want to, say you're blasphemous, or they want to ostracize you because you're able to read between the lines. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying I understand both. That's all I'm saying. But I have seen just so much abuse and psychological warfare. And you have to understand, when people are coming for your mind, in psychology, the mind is considered the spirit. It's the study of spirit. So when people are coming for your mind, for your mental health, for your personal well-being, you have to understand that when the mind breaks down, eventually the body will follow. Just like if you take care of your mind, you have a strong mind, you're gonna have a strong body, and vice versa. So with that, I noticed the similarities guess I'll say like I wrote down like, what is an institution? The institution is usually a place. It's like a church, a school, some type of facility. I don't care if it's long-term facility, long-term care facility. I don't care if it's a nursing home. I don't care if it's a mental health institution. Um, any type of structured business that has institutional guidelines, I would say it really can be anywhere, but it's usually based on a certain agenda. Like a restaurant isn't an institution, but a school is. So you have to understand um, what that means. And when you sign up to be involved with specific institutions, what does that mean for you? So a lot of us just go in and sign the paperwork, and we just feel like, hey, I'm just glad to have somewhere to stay. I'm just glad, honey. And I realize that you may be signing your life away. You may be signing up for secret experimentations that you don't know nothing about. You think they're not doing social experiments on you where they put cameras on you at all times and you're being unlawfully recorded and everybody knows but you, and everything is basically to see how you react and how you respond. It's basically happened to me, and this is the only reason why I can speak on it, because these are the things that I've experienced. When you have been targeted for whatever reason, for me, I feel like primarily is because I have been lied on by groups of people, probably covens, and people that sit in secret societies and know people in high places. And they're basically mad that all of the magic that they have done on me has not worked. These people have done death spells and rituals and probably had sex orgies and all this type of crap. And here I am, all these years later, still here, still alive, still well, still kicking it. Just going along with it. Why not? And a lot of times, there are police officers and people that sit in judicial positions that are very much connected to sex trafficking. And if you do not conform to the lies that have been told, if you do not allow yourself to be compromised, because basically it's like, look, this is what you're going to do. Either you're going to be homeless, you're going to be mentally ill, you're going to be a drug addict, you're going to be incarcerated, or you're going to be disabled. We need you to pick one, bitch. We need you to pick one. Because as far as you being able-bodied, working, making money, saving, having retirement, getting on your feet, doing better, we don't want that. What do you think the pandemic was for? We're stripping you, baby. You didn't know? See, that was work too. You didn't think the pandemic was work, and having everybody locked down and stuck in the house and no social interaction, and how all these millions of people just died? You don't think that was work, baby? You don't think it was work when they opened up the sky and used a certain discern thing when they was opening up portals? You don't think that's work? Why is it that every time at homeless shelters, specifically at homeless shelters, and they probably do this in jail, I've never been to jail, so I can't really tell you what goes on in jail. I'm just talking about institutionalized environments. But I noticed that the chaplains, they always want to touch on you. Let me lay hands on you. People want to lay hands on you. Why is that? That's a spiritual attack, honey. That's a curse. If somebody, like the lady just now, just flipping me a bird, that's a curse. That somebody's cursing you out. That's a curse, baby. Somebody speaking down to you, at you, all of that those are curses. You think it's some woman sitting at a pot doing cauldrons and shit? No, baby. It don't take much. It don't take much to do witchcraft. They steal your clothes. They make voodoo dolls of you, and next thing you know, you're going to the doctor, and the doctor can't tell you what's wrong. You got all type of lacerations on your body. You're like, how the fuck did I wake up with rope marks on my neck? Because somebody was choking your ass out last night. You didn't know? It gets real bad. It gets real bad in the dream state when, and you may not get this. A lot of things are done while you're sleeping, especially if you're being recorded while you sleep. It's a lot of shit that happens while you sleep because you are unassuming. You can't control what happens. If you see something in your walking life, you can move, you can jump, you can hop, you can skip, you can go the other way. But the best way to get you, or the best way to inflict um it's projection, whether that's projecting to you bad dreams, whether that is fucking with your psyche to make you think certain things, so then you wake up and you're acting a certain way, but they're not. Those thoughts are not yours. See, MK Ultra and the things that they do psychologically is on the same lines of witchcraft, and a lot of people don't understand that. Go look at human experimentation and look at the type of things that they've done, and then go look at things people do in witchcraft, and they're parallel. They're parallel. And I've been studying this for a long time. Like it is a cold world that we live in. And as much as I try to deny it and be like, no, I'm just tripping, I'm doing too much, it's like, no, because it keeps showing up. How I try to debunk my own theories as if something changed. Like, for example, being gang stalked. If the same thing didn't happen every day, I can believe that, oh, Candace, you maybe you are going mad. You're not really being gang stalked. Nobody's following you. You're paranoid. It's just anxiety. No, because the same people keep showing up every day. The same things keep happening. And keep in mind, this has happened in 4 different states. Over since I left, this started in 2018, and we going into 2025. Like I say, I keep wishing that something could be different. I wish that I had a different narrative to talk about, but that's not the case. And because I am not easily manipulated, and I know when people are lying to me, and I know when people are playing games, it places a target on my back. And that's okay, because it's always been that way. It's always been that way in the workplace. Because you can't lie to me, you can't play games, because I know the rules. I know what, like, I just know. And I'm just not going to allow you to play with me or my mind, and that's just the way it is. So, as I said, there are similarities between homelessness, each one of the institutions, homelessness, incarceration, as well as mental health facilities. They were all ran by like board of directors and people with high levels of degrees, and a lot of those people engaged in a lot of spiritual activity, whether good or bad. Everybody's not bad, but a lot of them are, because they just are. I can't even tell you why. Like, a lot of these people are just like, they're Satanists. That's what they do. They cloak themselves in honorable positions, whether that's through the church or in the medical field. They're working with children. Anything that you would, firefighters, police officers, any type of civil work, therapists. A lot of these people cloak themselves as honorable people, but they really are about Pacific agendas and demonic activity. That's just the way it is. Because it's almost like you either have to, what they say in state property, either you get down, you lay down. If you lay down, then you stay down. And it's like, I'd rather be a part of the group and have protection than to be somebody like me that's just out here by yourself and you don't have no protection. I'm not under oath. I'm not initiated. So therefore, these are the things that happen to you. When you don't join the group and you don't want to be a part and you don't want to play the game, then you're gonna get attacked. You're gonna get gang stalked. You might get raped. You might get harassed. You might get beat down. You might get robbed. You'll have people in every avenue, from healthcare to finance to education. There is somebody that sits in one of them seats that can really destroy your life. Social engineering, to where they can almost make you disappear, to where as if you never existed. Like it is a dirty game, and that's just the way it is. It's like Matilda. Like, I'm big, you're small. I'm right, you're wrong. So what else can you do? And as I said, like, you're always being watched. I heard a girl say that in jail for men, that when they come in, the goal is always to emasculate them. That's why so many men end up, turning to the opposite side in jail. It's done that way for a reason. And that, like, they take, I don't know how true this is, but she said that they take a picture of a man's penis and hang it upside down, and they cut the penis off. And so there's picture magic. This is why, if you notice, a lot of celebrities always wear glasses now, because it's a lot to do with their eyes. If you notice, Beyonce, a lot of these people that are out in the public eye, they usually always have sunglasses on. People think like, oh, they don't want to be seen and they hide. No, baby, it's work. It's work. Do you think, like, look at what people have been willing to do to me, and I don't even have anything, so to speak, right? You think Beyonce ain't getting attacked with voodoo dolls and shit? You think that it ain't people that, like, sitting there, like, attacking her family and her children and shit? You think nigga, like, look what they did to me, and you tell me people that got billions of dollars as black people, like, just as much love as that lady get? I'm pretty sure she get as much hate too. So when people sit there and try to call you a witch and you're demonic and shit, it's like, no, baby. The people that sit here and attack me every day are demonic. The people that sit here and abuse me and rob me, those are the demons, baby, not me. Because if it was left up to me, shit, if I acted anything like these people, everybody would be dead. Because that's what they wanted for me, right? So who's really the angel here? Who's really the good person? Who's really out here living a righteous life? So, also it's like a group mentality. In the homeless culture, it is a mob culture. So there are gangs and groups within it, just like jails or even prisons. There, the Crips and the Bloods and the Brown Pride and the what is it, the Syrian Brotherhood and the Hell's Angels. That's the biker gang. But I'm just saying, like, there's groups, there's affiliations, there's codes, there's hierarchies, there's things you can say, things you can't say. Same thing with homeless people. It's so bad in California. Texas is not as bad. It's not necessarily any better, because there's still shit here too. But it's because it's most of the people there are on fentanyl, so it's you are likely to get robbed. You and the police are not coming. The police ain't coming. As a woman, you are, if you actually live on the street in a tent, which is something, thank God, that I've never had to do. I've always been able to get into some type of shelter, so I'm grateful for that. But like, a lot of those women end up raped, and there's nobody's coming. So somebody like me that has been targeted for trafficking, thank God that even though I've been through a lot of shit and people have done a lot of heinous things to me online, I have usually been moved out of the way. Like, I may have had to be humiliated. I may have been talked about and judged online. But as far as, like, some of the things that I've heard these women talk about that they've experienced, I haven't. Like, yeah, I may have been humiliated. I may have lost my place. I may, like to me, this light work compared to the type of things that I've heard some of these other women go through since they've been homeless. And they've been homeless for years, like way longer. Like 2 years ain't really shit compared to some of these women that have been chronically homeless, like from the streets, living on the streets, never getting a job, never going back, don't want to go back, don't want to be normal, this is my life, this is where I'm gonna stay, this is what I'm gonna do, I'm committed to being homeless. That is a completely different mentality than somebody like myself. And it's the same thing with people in incarceration. Like when you get people in these patterns and these cycles of behavior, they never get out. And the longer that you stay in these patterns and cycles of behavior, where you got people telling you what to do, when you can leave, when you can come back, where you can go, who you can talk to, um, let me search your stuff. Um, when you can go to bed, when you can get up, when you can leave, when you can, like it is prison. And like I say, homelessness is worse because you have the illusion of thinking, okay, I'm going to get on my feet and I'm going to get back. It's not designed for you to get on your feet, baby. This is how these places make money. This is how people stay in repetitive cycles of and become chronically homeless, because it was never designed for you to get out. Once you know, once we've evicted you, people have evictions on their record, and if you owe $5, $6, $7,000, what's the likelihood of you being able to get another place and pay that off? So we've caused inflation. We got high food prices. We got jobs that don't want to pay you according to what you're really worth. So you slaving. You've disconnected from your children. You know, a lot of us are single, so we don't have the proper help that we need. We don't have proper family support. So it is a grand orchestration, baby. It is some crazy work. It is some crazy work. Um, when you lose your freedom, when you lose the freedom of your sense of self, of who you are, when you don't have any control of your future, and every decision you make has to be based on the rules of where you stay. I can't do this because I got to do that. I can't go to work because I got to go to class here. So like right now, they force you into a program to where you have to stay. They know you don't have nowhere to go. So the only way we can make you stay is if we force you into a program, and then we'll say you can't come back. If you leave, then you can't come back for a year. So it's psychological warfare. It's always playing on your traumas because you don't have nowhere to go. You don't have nobody. So as long as I can keep you in line, it's prison. That's what it is. It is. That's why I say homelessness is worse. Um, let's talk about the food, the culture, and the desired results, like food. I do everything I can to not eat at shelters, and the reason being is because from day one I just always felt like they poisoning us. They poisoning us. I don't know why, but I've always felt like from day one, if it's not the psychological warfare, then they're gonna get you through the food. If we can't dumb you down and drain you out and get you cracked out and got you selling yourself and doing all these other things, then we gonna get you through the food. And so I noticed that every time they served food at the first one that I went to, it was always soup. And so that was weird for me because I'm funny about too many people touching my food. I'm funny about people I don't know cooking for me. I'm funny about people, especially when they got bad attitudes and they don't treat me well. I'm funny about all that shit. I watch all that shit. Like now, if I go to somewhere and it's not good service, I'm not coming back, man. I just need to find something else to do. I'm a fast because it to me that's work. If people are handling your food and they don't like you, they're touching your food with the intentions that you have a bad experience at the very least. But if people are touching your shit like, I hope this makes you sick, bitch. I hope you get food poisoning, bitch. I hope you choke, bitch. Most of our foods are cursed because look at how many hands have to touch our food before we even receive it. And I ain't just talking about if we go to a fast food restaurant. I'm talking about from the time it's created. Just think about fruit, and the time it's planted, and then it grows, and then it's harvested, and then it's transported. it's sprayed with well, before it's transported, you done sprayed it with pesticides, and then you put it here, and then they person on the truck put it there, and they put it in the grocery store, and then 50,000 people that touched it before you even got there. When I went to the second shelter, I think that's when I found out I was kind of like, especially being a spiritual person, you have to really watch what you eat. And it's not just necessarily because you are under spiritual attack. It's just as you ascend, your dietary, you're going to change. That's why a lot of people end up going vegan, or they stop eating meat, or they eat different, only eat meat maybe twice a week, because there's some that becomes too sensitive. Things can become very dense, and it don't work. At least not for me. I don't have the ability to just certain things, and like I'll eat it and then I feel bad after, or it depends. Especially if I fasted for a couple of days and I try to eat something that in my mind, like, man, I really like this, and I will get it, and by the time I get it, I'm just like, ugh. Because that's probably the biggest thing that I miss, considering that I am going through homelessness, is that I enjoy making my own food. I enjoy taking care of myself. I enjoy being just a woman and living in my own home and in my own space. And it's challenging for me because, like I say, at the second shelter that I stayed at, the first one, like I say, shit was weird. But a lot of times I would eat salads, and I just use my food stamps and go and get me food. Like, none of it really can be trusted, but I definitely didn't trust nothing coming from that shelter. And then when I got to the second one, the food was a lot better. But that's when I think I kind of found out that maybe I might be gluten intolerant, um, because certain things don't pass the same. Like, my digestive system had changed, and I had gotten sick. Um, but then I started to realize I felt like that was something else, because truth be told, like, I may have little hiccups here or there, but I don't really get sick a lot, thank God. Thanks to the heavens. And the reason being is it was just, like I say, when I started seeing like who's cooking the food, and certain things that they were doing, it just don't be clean, man. I can't deal with that shit. Like, I don't play that shit when it comes to food. Like, my body is everything to me. I don't care. Like, I love her. If don't nobody else love me, bitch, I love me. And so I am very meticulous and particular about a lot of things. And I just saw a lot that just made me uncomfortable, and I just didn't eat. I stopped eating. Once I got sick that one time, I was like, I'm never fucking with shelter food again. I won't do it. I don't care. I'm just not gonna do it. And definitely at the third place, I never ate there. Honey, that shit was so fucking, ooh, child, that place was so disgusting. Everything about it was absolutely disgusting. So I was never gonna eat there. Like, no. Honey, that was, ugh, that it made me sick thinking about that place. Just how trifling. Oh my God, just disgusting. And here, I guess it's somewhat better, but not really, because the other day, like, I started working in the kitchen or whatever, which is okay, I would say that it's pretty clean. However, it's still some things that made me uncomfortable. And To me, it's unacceptable if you're giving out food and it's molded. It's unacceptable if people can't ask, hey, does this have nuts in it, or what kind of food is this? They might be allergic to something. They have a right to ask, and these people don't feel like you do. Like they want to always put God into it. Like, you need to be just grateful that you got something to eat today. Like, no, honey, I can go to a food pantry and get something to eat. I got food stamps, I can get something to eat. Please don't act like you are the savior of my life. Please stop acting like if you put me out today, I will figure something out. Like, I'm tired of these people in these places that they feel like they own you, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, they feel like it is slavery, that they own you, that you are supposed to bow down. You're supposed to say yes sir, boss, and hop on one foot and bark like a dog. Bitch, no. Candace Carey is never going to do that. Like, that's just never gonna be me. You can call me stuck up, you can call me whatever you want, but I know who I am. And I'm not getting trapped in this cycle of being homeless. I'm not going to accept this as my life. As soon as you accept defeat, then you've lost. As soon as you accept this as your life and just start getting comfortable, start making friends and start hanging out, and we posted up. No, honey, I'm outside. I'm out on the street. I'm downtown. Where the working people at? What we doing? What's the NASDAQ? What stocks are up? What we doing? What's the best retirement fund to invest in? I'm anticipating my future. I'm anticipating great things. I know that I'm going to get back on my feet. I know who I am. Yeah, right. The true enough, this place is definitely nicer than where I was, but to me, it's worse because, like I say, you got all these fake ass Christians running around here yelling Bible verses, but they really into witchcraft. And that's just the truth. Anybody to sit around and orchestrate people stalking you, and the same reindeer games that they play, they have a target and everybody goes along with it. Okay, everybody make sure you ignore her when she walks by. Everybody just stand there and stare to make her uncomfortable. Everybody just talk about her behind her back. But we're Christians and we love the Lord and everything's, yeah. And look at all the white people sitting in the corner just watching it. Look at the niggas. The white people sitting behind the camera just like, oh, look at the black people just hating each other, tearing each other life apart. Look at this. This is better than slavery. We ain't got to do nothing. This is great. Look at how they treat each other. This is good stuff. And then on top of everything we're doing, we're guaranteed to wipe them out. Oh my God. Oh my God. So let's get this thing wrapped up. I got a bunch of stuff. I'll probably do another. I think I'm gonna make this like a series, like some crazy work, and talk about work. I think this is something I'm gonna keep doing, because I feel like I want to talk about it. Why not? I'm getting stabbed with voodoo dolls every day. Shit, I might as well. I'm sitting up here, people trying to burn me up and give me cancer and shit. I might as well talk about it. All this damn radiation and all this shit people trying to do to me. Shit, I might as well. So tactics. Oh, well, let me go back. Culture and results. So like I said, we talked about the mob mentality, the culture of people. It's different in different places. Like for example, California, a lot of Hispanic folks was racist as hell, so they didn't like black people. A lot of black people don't like black people. So a lot of times, if you're not really down with selling drugs or selling pussy, or if you're not down with the homeless, get down, then that also puts the target on your back because they think you feel like you better, and it's like, bitch, I think you've gotten lost in translation, baby, because I'm a regular person. Regular people don't do what you do. But that's what I'm saying. People commit to this life, and I'm not. So, like I say, I'm not initiated, and I ain't been jumped in. I don't do groups. I am the lone wolf. I am the popular loner. So that's just the way it is. The results, in my opinion, and for all three, as far as homelessness, the mental health facilities, is just to keep people stuck in like patterns um, of abuse, trauma, and pain, to where they never live past their experiences. So either they're always stuck on medication, their body begins to break down, so they're always back and forth to the hospital. They can't work, which leads to mental health issues because you feel inadequate, so you become depressed. You start having anxiety, then those things worsen into like more serious disease, bipolar, schizophrenia, all that type of stuff. It is it is some nasty work. It is some nasty work, man. It is an ongoing cycle. And if you ain't waking up every day, putting on the armor of God and wake up ready to swing and ready to fight, um, they're gonna get you. That's just the way it is. The result is to keep you enslaved. So that's why most of the people that get incarcerated end up going back. Most of them have been, depending on how long they've been incarcerated, they can't. It's hard for them to function in the real world. This is why I make sure I stay in the real world. What's going on? What people wearing? What they dressing? What they got going on? Is it Fashion Week? They going to New York this week? What's going on? Is it the Cannes Field Festival? The Sundance? What's going on? Is it All-Star Week? I'm still outside, even though I'm here. I'm outside. I'm still trying to know what's going on, and this is not my life. I just refuse to accept this as my life, child. I just can't do it. I gotta hurry wrap this up and my shit died. And so let's talk about tactics and strategies. So, like I said, manipulation, trauma, triggers, and cycle of abuse. Um, I think a lot of times they purposely try to do things, especially if you've been targeted in any of these environments, then they would purposely try to do things to make you upset, to where you shoot yourself in the foot. So like the other day with the whole email thing, and purposely trying to be mean to me to get me to, lash out, because like here, if you cuss, you get put out. If you threaten somebody, you get put out. If you fight or do anything like the shit that was happening at the other place in California, that's not gonna happen here. If you do one thing to the left or to the right, honey, you're gone. And you can't come back, and there's no other places for you to go. That's the thing. Like most of these shelters are shutting down. They don't even have the capacity to even manage the people that they serve. That's why they push people out. They come and they go, and this is why they make the rules so strict, so they continue to get paid. They it was the same thing at the place in California. You get 3 days to leave and come back. And with that being said, like it's insurance. Not just insurance, but like it's how they get paid through their funding, based on how many beds that they have full. And every day the beds that able to get funding for that. So that's a big reason why the place I was staying at, they didn't mind having drug addicts there, and they leave and come back and leave and come back and leave and come back because they got paid for it. It didn't matter if they were damaging the community. It didn't matter if they didn't give a fuck that they was on a drug addict, and they was basically allowing people to do drugs on their property and leave and come back and leave and come. They didn't care. Everybody knew what that place was. That people could just stand outside and just pull up. It was the dope dealer's dream to just pull up at that place and just serve everybody. Whatever you want, whatever you're looking for, you just pull up, and everybody knew. So, these are the strategies, man. These are the games it's playing. It's a money grab. It's the new form of penitentiary. Homelessness is like the new form of penitentiary. It's like the legal way. Because people that are in jail they've been incarcerated because they actually did something. Homelessness is a trap that they try to keep people in. And then let me get to the tactic part. They'll sit there and try to oh, we'll give you affordable housing. And then they put you in communities with the same type of people. So you're experiencing the same drama, the same confusion. Here in Texas, it's a little bit different, I think. I think it's better than California. Um, but like a lot of the places that was affordable house, first of all, there was no affordable housing in California at all. So even if you got out of homelessness, there was nowhere for you to afford to live. So that's why it's so many old people that can't get back on their feet because they don't make enough money to. That's why I left. Because I'm like, even if I found a job here, I wouldn't make enough to stay here no way. That's why I felt bad for the people. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers gonna keep staying here, and you got money and you can't leave. Like so you need to tell me you can't, girl. You want to stay here because it's Southern California and the sunshine, girl? No, ma'am. I'm gone. I'm gone. Like maybe listen. No, ma'am. Um, and then I would say, lastly, on the list is systems of oppression, racism, discrimination, sexism, classism, xenophobia, um, anything that is built or designed to diminish your personal identity of how you see yourself, how you show up in the world, and who you are. And I think between all of those things, between the strategies and tactics, between the systems of oppression, the lack of the lack of proper housing. Like I say, I think here in Texas is a lot better. I think that there is housing opportunities here that people can, if they are applying themselves, I do believe that people can get out of homelessness here. I haven't been able to say that in a while. I do think it can happen. I don't know for me because, like I say, people have been targeted for quite some time, so we'll see how that goes. But you know, I, but at least for people that are disabled or that are elderly, I think that they can actually get into places. They can get into 55 plus places. Like there are openings right now. In California, it's not like that. There ain't no openings. Like they building new places and they already got waiting lists for them. There's so many people there, and it's ridiculous. So it is a dirty game. And I think that people need to understand how they fit into the game. Instead of trying to change the game, instead of trying to kill the enemy, I just feel like learn how to play the game. If you know people are doing work, then you got to do things to protect yourself. You got to learn how to get in control of your emotions. You got to learn how to let a lot of shit roll off your back. Because the goal is going to always be to get you out of character. You got to stay 10 steps ahead. You got to be your own advocate. You got to speak up for yourself. You got to go ask questions. You got to be okay with rejection. You got to be okay with the uncomfortable things. It's unfortunate that things have to be this way, but as they said in the last days, these are the type of things that was going to be happening. That Christians would be persecuted. And I ain't just talking about regular Christians. I'm talking about anybody that wants to walk a godly path. Anybody that actually wants to live right and do right. Anybody that has taken a stand and said, no, I don't want to do this, or no, I don't want to do that, or whatever it may be. You got to understand that you are going to be persecuted. You are going to have a hard time. Things are not going to be easy because this is the devil's playground. The devil roams the earth. So if you're not into the things that I've already discussed, if you're not willing to get down and lay down, then you better be ready to stay down. But all I can say is get your money up, mind your business, and stay out the way. The world is really changing, and I don't know as far as how things can get better because I feel like it's just becoming more and more corrupt. I remember being young, and I think that certain things have always been here. But I've never seen things this bad. I've never seen just heinous corruption and like, but that's how I know that eventually all this is about to fall. A lot of these corporations and these people that sit in high places, a lot of this it's the war that we are experiencing. When they say World War III, it's not going to be a physical war. It is a war against your mind. Consumerism, social media, materialism. It's against your mind. Drugs, alcohol, sex, overindulgence, abuse, trauma. It all affects the mind. This is why you have people walking around like zombies. It's like, you used to be like, damn, she looked like she lost her mind. She did. And more than likely, she's been compromised. Because when you lose your mind, you're more likely to demonic possession. But that might be another video. I'm going to stop it here for now. I think I've said all I needed to say. Do your research, ask questions, get a second opinion. You don't have to take my word for it. This is just things that I've experienced and things that I've seen. Like I say, I'll do another video and talk a little bit more about the things that I've seen within these group activities. I have more stuff, but like I say, I've been trying my best not to make these videos so long, and just trying to be more mindful of the attention and the time of the listener. So for that's all that I have for right now. I hope that you are having a great day and continue to do so, and I plan on doing the same. And until next time, peace.